Alright, so this is going to be slightly different from what I normally do, but I hope you enjoy the video. Hi, and welcome back. We are going to be talking about the worst one-shot melees in Phantom Forces. Well, some of you might think it's this, the Warhammer, right? Well, I'm just going to say you're a little bit wrong. I see this as the second worst one. And I'll get to the worst one in a minute, but first look how slow this thing is. Even Emp jump sliding, you're just still incredibly slow with it. And the swings are slow, everything's sluggish. The best way to use one-shot melees is the F attack like this, but you miss up close because of the ray casting changes they did. And it's really just not worth using. And as you can see here, it just doesn't hit with the normal attacks up close anyway. You have to back further away to even do anything like this. The Warhammer, unfortunately, is just the worst out of all the true one-shot melees. And I say true one-shot melees for a reason. Alright, so this is my Legends tab on my melee sheet, as some of you may know. And I have one-shots and true one-shots listed here. One-shots I define as any melee that can do a non-backstab, one-hit kill, including the Bridal Brandisher, Gospel Blades, Zweihander, Fireball Stopper, Worldbuster, Warhammer, and Krampus Kukri. While the true one-shots are only the Four Horsemen, which would be the Stoppers, Zweihander, Worldbuster, and Warhammer. So this will be the last thing I say about the Warhammer, but just look at its range real quick, as well as its attack speed over here on the right. It's slow, it doesn't have that much range, and a lot of other melees have more range than it. Like, if you look just slightly above it, the Stopper has more range, a lot of the Blunts have more range, just a lot of the melees in this game have more range than the Warhammer. It just really doesn't seem like a threat. Especially when you look at the blades, like the Noob Slayer has 10 studs, and then the Triton has 9, and then the Zweihander Worldbuster also have more range and just do a better job because they can one-frame people. Even one-hands like the Strider over here, the Strider, whatever, has 9 studs of range. The Bridal Brandisher, 9 studs of range, and it's actually a better one-shot than the Warhammer. This thing is just garbage. Unfortunately, I don't really know what to say about it. It's just bad. Yeah, sorry to you sniper players out there, but this is the worst one-shot melee in the game. Honestly, one of the worst melees in general. We have arrived at our first issue with this melee weapon. It 3 shots if you do not hit a backstab. This is a stat that only 17.5 walk speed melees have. And this somehow does a worse job than those melees. We have yet again another issue here. This melee weapon's swing animations are horrible for what it does. You try to hit them in the torso, but instead you hit them in the arm, and it doesn't register as a torso shot, and you do 45 damage instead. Now I one-shot the first guy because I hit his torso, but the second guy was just from a backstab. I forgot to mention that this doesn't have a headshot multiplier, so I just did 45 damage to this guy even though I hit him in the head. It doesn't make any sense. So let's consider the following here and wrap this video up in a swift conclusion. The Krampus Kukri and the Warhammer should not be used. It's not that they're too terrible to not be used or to play with. You could still try to have fun with them, but there's just other options. Like, the Zweihander and the Worldbuster can one frame, and the Warhammer cannot. So why try limiting yourself to the Warhammer? And just try one of the better ones instead. I have the same thing with the Krampus Kukri. Krampus Kukri is a cool concept, but in reality, it just does not work at all. Because it sacrifices so much for so little. You get rid of the ability to two-shot someone if you do not hit the back, and just for a torso one-shot that sometimes isn't even possible. You also have no, further damage to the head or anything. So if you don't get a backstab, it's just a 3-shot. And then, being that it can't one-shot to the back, I'm pretty sure that's self-explanatory. A melee like the Bridal Brandisher just does it better because it one-taps the head, doesn't lose much of its speed, and also still retains its backstab damage, and can backstab and do a headshot. So if the Krampus Kukri simply had its backstab multiplier and a little bit higher base damage, it would be an alright melee, if not pretty good.